In this lesson, we're going to look at something that maybe on the surface is pretty darn simple. Dance to the Music by Sly and the Family Stone. And it is fairly simple. This is in the key of G, and it's really just a rhythmic exercise. They stay in G for 99% of the song. There's one little bridge where we go to another note for a while. But it's all about the funk. I mean, this is Sly and the Family Stone. This is classic stuff. It's all about the feel and stuff. And basically what he's doing is kind of just jamming on the G. Occasionally a little fill like that. I've put on, 6 variations of the rhythm with a couple of the key things that he does. It's very straight ahead. It's all about the feel, all about the energy that you're putting in with this very simple part. Just keep driving it and keep pushing it. I think that's the exercise inside of the song itself as far as being a bass player. Just because it's simple doesn't make it easy and doesn't make it good. Oftentimes the simpler the part, the harder it is to really find out how to make it great. So, and I think for this, for me at least, it's the energy, the push that he's putting it. And he's doing a lot of little muted notes. And when you're doing something like this, it's like you have an inner pulse. So this is an interesting technique. Basically, my fingers are going to be moving in eighth notes the whole time. I want to get a physical motion, like a drum. I want to get my hand moving. I want to get my fingers moving like drumsticks. And then on this side, I'm going to use my all of my fingers in the hand in general to mute the string and keep it tight. And when I want to hit a rhythm, I'm just going to clamp down real quick on the G and get a note. So it's sort of like you're just jerking the instrument to get a note out. And I mean, excuse me, you're keeping the pulse going. I hit pretty hard. You don't have to hit that hard. But whatever works for you. So that's an interesting technique, to keep the finger moving. As you can see in the chart, I have some dead notes marked, but we could also think that it's just always eighth notes, and it's just a matter of whenever you actually fret the note, that is the rhythm that is being written of the note, if that makes any sense. That's the general gist of the entire song. Now, I had a couple of variations here, that chromatic walk-up, and some of the different variations on which note might be dead. I guess, again, once you get into the tune, I think you can feel this yourself and certainly play along with the recording. Sometimes he's crescendoing, but always those downbeats at the beginning of the phrase, the bum, 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 that's pretty consistent throughout. It's a matter of the ending part of the phrase, how it answers that. With a couple exceptions. There is a few times where he goes, the downbeat actually has a high G and F up there. And as I hear it, the F sometimes is held on. It's like an open note. Not that much, though. I think the bass he's playing probably has a muffler on it, so like a bridge muffler down here so that the notes don't last so long. It's all old funk music. It could be like an old P bass that has the raisable damper under here. And you can do that with a piece of foam or anything that you can get to fit snugly under the strings without pushing the strings too far. It just kind of deadens them, makes it more like an upright bass kind of. And you'll have less sustain. I know sometimes tone-wise, people are always searching for more sustain, more length. And I think that's great, but that's only one thing. Sometimes you want less length. Think Paul McCartney, think old 60s stuff where the or Carol Kay. There you go. Less length. And I'm artificially doing that with this palm muting technique or this hand muting. And that can get you into the rhythm more. Okay, so there's also one other variation where it's you're just hitting the octave on one of the notes. Then we get to the bridge. Now here, this is the one change in the song, and we're going to this E flat chord for a little bit, and it's basically we're going to be using a the G major triad. We hit the downbeat, bum, so 1, 3, 5, and then we're going to the E flat, different note. We basically play that for 4 bars with that rhythm and a dead note. And then we go to the, that again, this is the one time coming out of the bridge into the outro, he does something a little bit quicker instead of just the 8th note. It's and again, my strings are sustaining too long. Also, in this outro section, when the horn part comes in, occasionally he'll hit a C on the downbeat. So, again, most of the time everything's staying the same, but there's these little variations here and there. I try to throw some of those details in. But besides the bridge, that's it. So, it's not that hard to transcribe necessarily, but the idea of that pulsing beat and the energy and the push in the part, I think that's the lesson, is more about that than it is the notes. So there you go. Sly and the Family Stone, dance to the music.